This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's wait. We're about 2 minutes early. I knew Neil, Ernesto are not going to be late to the party. We got a lot to get to. Some good results over the last 7 days. And more importantly, what's ahead? Because you already saw, we got down on baseball immediately. And I was excited that I saw some dogs. I was excited to get a prop right away. So, you know, it's baseball. It's going to be busy. It's usually higher volume, not crazy volume, but comparable to college football, I would say. And it's every day. So there will be some variance. That's where when you have to stick to the formula, or else you could get yourself in trouble real quickly. But we'll wait for everybody to get in here. Because if you remember, baseball is where we did so much of the damage last year. As I could look around, see if anything has come in. Nope, never again came early, you know. I guess they knew the matchups. You know, everybody knew already the baseball matchups, been up for a few days. So everything got hit pretty early. In fact, I got caught in bed today. I haven't been getting early basketball plays for like over a month and a half, maybe 2 months, to be honest with you, since I was telling you guys about the NBA betting both sides of totals. So I haven't been having to get up that early to bet sports. I just had to get up early to trade. And with trading, I could get up even a little later because those guys that bet wake up even earlier than traders. And I got caught sleeping today. 5 o'clock, a couple of baseball games came in. They right now exact time that they came in. First one came in at 5:02 a.m., 5:03 a.m., 5:05 a.m., then not till 5:41 a.m. That's where I got down. I missed those first three, but then I was able to circle back and still get down. Like we still got a good number on the Rockies. That one was early. What did we get on that? I think we got 180 or 190. Yeah, we got 190. See, and they just got 200. And at 200, that's a 5% discount. I mean, a 5% difference. And usually I don't want to go higher, further than that. But I saw multiple groups hit it, and that's why I felt pretty confident even to take the plus 190. And the other one that I missed was the Kansas City, Minnesota over 8. We just laid a little bit more juice at 120 compared to the 110. And yeah, it's one of those times I had to eat it. So, all right, it's about that time. So we can get started. Everybody's here. Let's get it going. If anyone's late, sorry to hear that. Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to go over results. We're going to talk forward a little bit. And then more importantly, we're going to get into tonight's college basketball, Sweet 16. And of course, our futures. And I'll run through UFC. You know, I had 4 plays I gave out already, premiums. And I'll pass along a couple leans that I'm looking at as well, just in case you have an opinion you could get down before we do and get a better number. If you guys want prompts, here we go. Porzingis under 17.5 points. Kristaps Porzingis under 17.5 points, plus 125 and plus 120 they're betting. Kristaps Porzingis under 17.5 plus. Not going to release that as a premium play because it's probably 16.5 at most places within 10 minutes, within minutes, and those are so time sensitive. Okay, so let's get this going. Let's look back. It's been a good week, right? Not bad. See, you can't time markets. You make money by time in the markets, how much time you're in there. That's how you compound your money. That's what I did. Remember, I was broke in 2000. I'm doing okay now. Between 2010 and now, I compounded my money simply the same way I'm showing you guys to do it. Follow the percentages, increase every year or every double up of bankroll and just keep compounding, keep compounding, keep compounding. That's time in the market, not trying to time it. When is he going to get hot? When are we going to win? Is it going to be this week? Is it going to be that week? Should I bet this month? You can't do that. You can't time it. You just have to have time in. I mean, just look at most investments. If you don't know how to trade, you're going to get wiped out. How many got destroyed trying to trade crypto? Because they're not traders, and investing is different. If you're trying to invest but you're trading, you're going to lose money. And if you're trying to trade but you're an investor, you're going to lose money. So you got to be able to separate the two. And most recreational investors and bettors just don't do that, which is why the markets tend to always end up extracting money from the less sophisticated to the more sophisticated, and to the impatient to the patient. That's just how it is. All right, so let's go back last week. Last 7 days, we don't care about the last 3. Last 7 days, wow, we picked up 51 units. We hit 69% on 42 bets, 37.7% ROI. Now, that's awesome. Here's the bad news. I can't sustain that. Doesn't mean we're going to lose, but it means we're not going to win 50 units every 7 days for the next year. I wish we could. I promise you. I'm going to do everything in my power so that happens, but probability and the laws of math and big numbers tell me it's not going to happen, just because our edge isn't that great for it to be possible. I'm a realist. Nobody's edge is that great. That's why you need to check yourself when you get excited about a hot streak, because the only question you need to be asking yourself, is it sustainable? Can this run continue? Is it possible? And 69% is not possible to sustain unless we're laying minus 200 chalk on average, which is 66.7, 67% break even. So yeah, we would have about a little edge. So yeah, if our average line is minus 200, then yeah, I could hit 69%. But at minus 110 or throw in some underdogs, it's not going to happen. Nobody's going to do that. That's just, again, it's not my opinion. It's the laws of big numbers. That's a math. That's nothing I could change, unfortunately. Now, with that said, 50 units, not bad. Not bad at all. So what does that tell me? We are now ahead, I believe. Let's go last 30 days too, because a couple people are monthly. Last 30 days. See that? We're still down for the last 30 days. Down 2 units. 2 units. Even though we're above 500, meaning we're 52.3%. See, that's where the VIG eats you up. VIG starts counting, because even if you hit above 50%, that's not good enough. That's where the books have the advantage. That at 50%, they're making money. They are grinding money. And most bettors are about 50% long term. That's just the facts. Most bookmakers will tell you. When they look over, 1,000 of their bettors, 1,000 last 1,000 bets, the majority of them are going to be 50% at laying 110. At laying 110, and most even lower below that. In 2,000, it'll be. In 1,000, it'll be very few above that. Maybe what? Shit. 5, 10 people max if there's some variance. 10 out of yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right, so that's where we are over the last 30 days. That's why it's time in the market, because now let's see for the year. Where are we for the year? Yeah, what do you know? We are up money for the year. We're up 30 units for the year. We're at 53%. We're at about 600 bets, and we're at over 1.5% ROI. Now, again, the goal is to get to around that 3% ROI. If we could get the 5% over a year, that's when we've done a ton of damage. But most years are going to be like last year, where you're 2-3% because of the volume. Now, if I was given this much volume, we could go to 5, 6, 7, 8% ROI even in some sports, and long-term overall and everything, you know, at that 5% mark. But the volume has to be less. And for me, I'd rather lower the bet size and lower my risk that way than doing it the other way, where betting more on less plays. I'd rather bet less on more plays because I know the edge, again, isn't that great. So you just piling up just isn't really going to help you that much. You can't keep piling. Can't keep piling. All right. So at 30 units, let's do the math. We know how we do it. Let's do the calisthenics. We bet 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, and 1.25% of bankroll. We never bet more. How does that reflected? In the rating, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%. That's how we send out the ratings. 3% play, 4% play. We don't bet 4% on a play. We don't want to go broke. That's your guaranteed way to go broke. I can't help you. My picks won't help you. The betting syndicates I work with won't help you. Nothing's going to stop your bookmaker from taking your bankroll. It's just a matter of how long it takes before he separates you from it. Again, that's not opinion. That's the math. If you're betting 5% of your bankroll per play, you got to be hitting at a ridiculous percentage to have any shot. A percentage that is improbable. And unless your goal is to defy probability, which if it is, don't do it with sports, do it with the lottery. Do it with megabucks, with a big ass slot machine. Do it with Powerball. If you're out for defying probability, go for the big score, not for bullshit sports, even money, laying 11 to 10. That's crazy. If you want to, again, defy probability, do it the big boy way. All right, so 30 units. Let's say we got a $10,000 bankroll. We're betting 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25. So with 10 grand, we're betting $25 on a 1% play, $50 on a 2%, 75 on a 3%, 100 on a 4%, 125 on a 5%. Yep, with a 10 grand bankroll, we're not betting more than 125 on a 5% play. That's 1.25 of bankroll. That's what we follow. Now, with that said, we bet to win on favorites and we flat bet the dogs. So we lay the juice on the favorites, we flat bet the dogs. So 30 units, we're betting $25 a unit with 10 grand. Oh, we're up 750. Nothing to brag about. Again, maybe it covered your a couple expenses. If you were smart and knew you were signing up for the year and got out ahead and paid for the year. Remember, I gave you that $1,000 off in the beginning. You paid almost all your subscription, and we still got 8 months ahead, and some of the best 8 months with baseball, football, playoffs, the end of March Madness. Like, there's so much ahead, and that's when we did all our damage. Remember, this time last year, we weren't doing that hot, and then we started heating up in May. That's when it started coming along. Hopefully, it's a little earlier this year as it looks over the last 7 days. So that's where we stand. Again, I tell you when I win, I tell you when I lose, the numbers don't lie. We won 80, we increased our bankroll by 80% last year when all the dust settled. So if you started with 10,000, you made 8,000 minus your overhead. Now again, you want your overhead cheap, you go long term. You don't go weekly, daily, that kind of stuff. And the other overhead you should have is your internet. That should be it. Your bills should be very low for this business. And there's very few businesses that you could increase capital by 80% with a $10,000 business. Again, even if it was just 50%, how many businesses with 10 grand can you cover all your overhead, your insurance, your payroll, your taxes, all that shit, your rent, everything, your liability insurance? There's so much. Your electric, your heat, everything. And then you still, to clear 50%, it's very hard, very hard. Look at most restaurants. They're lucky if they clear 10% after all the overhead. And how many do even do that? So again, But it takes time. It takes patience, and it takes discipline on your end. I can only do so much. I can't bet for you. I'll show you the exact blueprint I used to go from 100 to 1,000 to 100 to 500 to now 1,000 to 5 dimes. That's how I did it, from 1x to 5x. Exactly how I'm showing you guys the same blueprint. And I just kept rolling it over year after year, year after year. And we had like 1 or 2 of those years where we doubled up bankroll like twice the 1 year. It was ridiculous, because those come over a decade. Those are going to come. And that's pretty much where we sit going into this week. Now, let me see anything else we have to get to before we start talking. Yes, great question. For someone starting with a lower bankroll, do you recommend staying within bet size and contributing to bankroll as funds come in and trust the process? 100%. 100%. Remember, there's 2 pieces to the puzzle. Bet size, bankroll. Bet size, bankroll. This never changes. Bet size never changes. Because when this changes, you increase your risk. This increases risk. We don't like that. We like to minimize risk. That's what we do. Remember, we got to lay 11 to 10 to make money. So we're paying admission every time we want to place a bet. We're like going to a club. You got to pay at the door to go through. That's what we do every time we place a bet. That's what 11 to 10 means. Most people think, oh, when I win, I don't pay it. The fuck you don't. You already laid it about 3 hours ago. You laid 11 to 10. You didn't get paid the right amount. Trust me on that. So we pay admission. We all do. So you can't fuck with this side. This side's got to stay strong. This is the side that's going to test you. This is the demons that are going to test you. When you're running hot, it's going to say, imagine if I was betting 3%, 4%, 5%, how much I'd be up. Or when you're running cold, if I double up, I could catch up quicker. I start chasing. Those are the mistakes that the 99.5% of bettors that lose money repeat over and over and over and over again. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. That's what the sports books depend on. That's why they keep showing nothing but those long odd parlays hitting. How you can change your life for $2, for $5. You know how many lives been changed by going broke compared to that one life that changed, that hit that ticket? Rest assured, a lot more lives went broke than hit a ticket like that. That's all negative EV shit. That's all gambling. We're not here to gamble. If you're trying to gamble, there's games of the year, I'm sure, on the Sweet 16. Someone's probably got their game of the millennium. I'm sure of that. They probably already spoke to both refs. They spoke to the coaches. They just called at least 2 or 3 of the players. I'm sure they got a lock for you. I'm not your guy. I'm not your guy. But ask him how he's done the last year, the last couple of years, and then go back and visit him in about 6 months and ask him how the last 6 months went. Again, we're not here to gamble, so we don't mess with this side. This is the side you play with. If you're not balling enough, then you got to increase this. Find a way to increase this. If 0.25 isn't enough, $25 on 10,000 per unit isn't enough, go to 40,000. That's what I had to save up to go to 100 to 500. I got a 40 dime bankroll. I pieced that shit together from everything. And I did it the right way. I finally did it the right way. I even had some extra money behind it. I was feeling fucking confident. I'm going to do this the right way. I'm going to stick to it. And fortunately for me, it started out well and continued well. And that's why I'm doing a dime to 5 now. And I could have been up a lot more, had higher than that already. But that's enough risk for me. Enough, not even risk, enough capital invested in this market. Because just like there's times we were losing that month, those 2 months, whatever, those weeks, there's other investments that are making money, fortunately. Look at the stock market, how it's been flying. So I diversified, fortunately, but I made my money from this. This is what I can tell you from betting. This is all I knew. This was how I acquired that capital to then make those other investments to now live comfortably. because there's very few things that I would have been able to double my bankroll over and over, like what I did with sports and with blackjack. That's what I was doing. I was betting sports during the day. I was playing blackjack at night. I was doing everything I can to just grind. Next thing you know, I'm at 1 dime, 5 dimes, and God bless America. What a country. So if I could do it, anybody can do it. I have the information. That's already done. We've proven we win long term. I have 9 years documented. You want to know what I gave out in 2017 on March 28th? I can tell you. I can tell you whether I won in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021 on March 28th. Every one of those is documented. So the source is here. You have the source. Now it's on you if you're going to use it like I used mine. I used it the right way and in time. It didn't happen in 3 months. It didn't happen in one baseball season. It didn't happen in 1 year. It happened in multiple seasons. 4, 5, 6, 7 baseball seasons. 4, 5, 6, 7 college football seasons, college basketball seasons, March Madnesses. That's how I got this position of betting 1 dime to 5 dimes and investing in other shit. It didn't come by one getting lucky, rolling the dice and going on a hot streak. That's not going to happen. It happened by the grind, just like the poker players. All those poker players, at least the 90%, started at small stakes. When I came to Las Vegas, Daniel Negreanu was playing Mirage like 1-2 Hold'em and writing an article in a magazine about poker. And grinded his way up to high stakes. I'm sure there was 1,000 other guys just like Daniel playing that same 1-2 game with that exact same dream. And probably some of them probably had that same talent, that same ability, probably studied the game just as hard, read just as many books, learned the math, learned the probabilities, knew the game just as well as him. But they didn't have bankroll management, they didn't have the discipline, and they didn't have the patience. So now they're watching him on TV, playing with $1 million in front of them, saying woulda, coulda, shoulda, while they're driving to their normal job. And it's no disrespect, and God bless them. If you're going to your job, that's a good thing. But there was still an opportunity that was just there, right there in front of you, that you didn't take because you didn't have this, just a little bit of discipline, just a little bit of patience. Like nothing good should come easy. Nothing good should come. Like, who are we that we should be able to just get rich betting sports in one season, in 1 month? Like, who owes us that? Well, what do we do in our lives that the markets owe us that? It's not how life works. Nobody owes you shit. We're not going to hit a big parlay. We're not going to hit a big slot machine. So it's okay. That's okay. You don't have to. Those are long shots. Those are dreams. Those are pipe dreams, not even dreams. That's shit that's not going to happen. But what you have is opportunity in front of you all the time. And this is an opportunity. Because again, I'm just telling you, I'm not going to do this for a long time. Like forever. Doing picks. Like, this takes a lot of my time every week. Uploading plays, sharing all that stuff. Like, I have accounts, I'm betting this stuff already. Others are betting it for me too. I'm moving it and getting a percentage. The pick selling is the least money that I make, if you can believe that. It's the least. That's why you see I spend the least time on it. Look at my Twitter. When's the last shit I tweet? Look at my Instagram. When's the last time I promote? Because I bring in the least revenue from pick selling. I don't promote. People want big games, bro. People want games of the year. They want to feel like it's a lot. All right, you guys ready? We got a bet for you. Live bet. We are betting live. We are betting live. NHL. We're going to bet the Stars. The Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars minus 115. Dallas Stars minus 115. 3%. Oh, hold on. It may be a 4. Hold on. Give me 1 sec. Dallas Stars, Dallas Stars, Dallas Stars, Dallas Stars, Dallas Stars. 4% play, 4% play, Dallas Stars. 4% play, Dallas Stars, minus 115. My guy just gave it at 112, 111, 115. You guys you're getting it right now. You should be able to get it. I'm even putting it before I even bet it because I'm not confident we gotten this early. Hell yeah. Four percent play, Dallas Stars. 4% play, Dallas Stars. See how long this shit takes? That's what I'm saying. Like, see, I already got that. Now I did send it out to get for me to get my money down too. Yep. All right. What do I need? Then we had action today, huh? We had a bunch of baseball. I haven't looked at one single score. I haven't had time. Been busy. I've had doing UFC. Had a bunch of UFC notes to do and send in to the producers. They use a lot of my notes for the shows. Even the shows I'm not like, the weekly stuff as the guys are walking to the ring, to the octagon, and they put some betting stats and stuff. So I send them all that stuff every week because I'm already doing it for myself. So and I got OCD, so I'm going to do that shit. All right, let me see something. I just got another one. All right. All right, that's out of the way. NHL play has been sent, right? Yes. All right. Nothing else yet so far. That was it for the NHL play. I didn't even think that was coming. Now let's go over to college basketball where we got some futures live, baby. We got some futures live. All right. Sorry, I just keep getting this shit from Zillow because I'm looking for a house. Got to get out of here. Got to get out of here. I was supposed to be out of here at the end of this month, but I still haven't been able to locate a house because I don't want to live in a high rise. I want to get a house because it's just getting too crazy. The houses are just so expensive. In another 2 years, nobody ever will be able to buy one. It's so nuts what the corporations did by buying them all. Fucking BlackRock, right? We'll never own homes because of them. All right. Let's start off with our four. We have 4 future bets pending still. 4 pending. Houston to win the South, Arizona to win the West, Tennessee to win the Midwest. In other words, for those 3 teams to make it to the Final Four. Now, 2 of the 3, Arizona and Tennessee, are given 2 plus 2.5 or to 1 or greater. But I'm not hedging anything yet. This is elite. This is Sweet 16. If we could even get 2 of the 3 into the Elite 8, we're sitting good. Because then we should have, Houston should be a favorite. And if we could get 1 of the 2, Arizona or Tennessee, in there as well, we'll be good. We'll be good. And I like how we're sitting with Houston with that future, even to win it all. So personally, I'm not hedging anything going into this round. Luck. So far, the only game that's really going to affect us in futures tonight is Arizona. I don't really have a strong opinion on that game either way, like to fade it or to hedge it, which I wouldn't, because again, we don't, it's different if we had a 30-1 ticket and you could start working some of the equity, but there's not enough equity and we're a 7-point favorite. Now, if they lose the game, Arizona loses the game, what are you going to do? Like, it's a great spot to be in. We got plus 250 to win the West, and they're 7-point favorites in this game against a number 6. Like, that's a good position to be in. And when I look at, Arizona's a top 5 team, could have very easily been a number 1. Very easily been a number 1. Even KenPom has them above North Carolina, who got a 1 spot. They're so much better offensively than North Carolina, and defensively, they're right there. And even with strength of schedule, it was so comparable, so comparable. So I think Arizona with a little chip on their shoulder, I like them in that spot. Again, this game, would I lay 7? Probably not. Would I take 7? No, I'm not doing it. Arizona money line, what's that number? Let me see. I mean, I wouldn't need why bet it? We already have it. But just to answer that question, 3-1, 75%. Yeah, I wouldn't bet the money line now. No, I wouldn't bet the money line. I would rather look for a future on them. Try to roll it over. Unless you plan on betting the money line and then just rolling the money line over and rolling it over and rolling it over. Like if you missed betting our future at 6-1. Otherwise, 2.5 to 1, 3 to 1, whatever it was. So, and let me look at the total real quick on this game. Clemson. Gun the head, I bet I'd go under. Gun the head, I'd go under. They've been playing under these teams. I don't think that's going to change. I like Arizona playing close to home too. They're going to have the arena on their side, playing this one in LA. So I think we're in a good spot. We should get Arizona into the Elite 8. We're just 1 game away from cashing a nice 4% play at plus 250. That's a nice 10 units picking up. I like it. Picking up a whole percent like that. At plus 250, that's good. It's a nice 2.5% of bankroll. But we'll see who they end up playing if they get past tonight. Again, if they get past tonight. Clemson has been a 500 team on the road, so it's not like they've been road warriors. And they've been running hot down the stretch, that's for sure. I mean, they came out of more or less nowhere to beat New Mexico and Baylor, but both were coin flip games. I mean, they were only plus 2 and plus 4.5. they're stepping up in class for sure. Where you look at Arizona, they crushed Long Beach. They covered against Dayton. Again, they're probably a little bit overvalued. That's why I wouldn't lay the 7 here. Probably about, should be -5. My guy just got 6.5. Then he makes them 6.5. So yeah, see, so I'm saying it's a little higher than it should be. So for me, it's a pass. It's a pass. What book did I find the hits, runs, errors prop? Every book has it out here. That's the first props that they put up before player props or anything. Once they put totals up, because it's all based on the total. I don't bet any online books. The only online books I use are bookmakers, bookies, all around the country that I bet with, credit accounts. And I have the only sportsbook accounts I have are here in Vegas that I post cash. I don't send any offshore. So I found them everywhere. Yeah, you may want to look, have multiple outs, because it's the run hits error prop isn't one of those props that isn't readily available. Like I said, it's connected to the total. So that's always the first one that goes up before any pitcher prop, player props, because I see them post them up here. Wow, okay, here's some news. BMC's guys bet Clemson first half. Clemson first half, +3.5. +3.5. May not be a bad bet. Again, I don't have a strong opinion on this game enough to bet it or piggyback them. Usually I would. I'd look to piggyback if I even had a close lean that way, but I just don't. But that is the way I would go. Like I said, I would think that the Arizona line is a little bit inflated. They're a little bit inflated just because they've been running hot, and covering, and they're the A side of this matchup. Again, they're the number 2 seed that should have been a number 1 seed against a 6, which could have easily been already eliminated. So you expect the Arizona side to be paying a premium. That's okay. Doesn't mean they're not going to cover or win the game, but I don't think the -7 has any value. And again, I would be looking to, I'm not gonna, but I would be looking to take the 7 or do what BMC did and take the first half 3.5 if you want to piggyback sharp action on that game, on that particular game. Letting them know I'm not touching it. You don't need to bet it for me. Bet it for those guys. But I'm good. All right. Let's see. Have I had any history using a VPN to gain access to sports books? Yes. And yeah, if they, just like with bots, I've showed you guys on the accounts that I have, the red ones were bots. Like we identify which are the bots, and most books do. But like we haven't kicked out the 2 bots that have access to, because only giving them nickels, and we get their information and get to adjust the lines. And more importantly, most public actions the other way. So they just help balance. If you know how to book, It thought, it's sharp action's nothing to be afraid of. You just got to limit it and just not have too many of them come in and slam you on the same side. So, but you got to have a couple sharp guys. So yeah, VPN, I use it. I bet that's how I bet in the Pinnacle. I have a Pinnacle account, a Pinnacle Skin, which is in Canada. It's another book which uses Pinnacle, and I bet into them. That's how I'm able to sometimes manipulate line, because they know it's a sharp account. I'll only hit them with really sharp stuff, and so that I can do that. And sometimes, done that in the past, bet something in that account and then fire the other way through other accounts, because everybody follows Pinnacle. Most of the board follows Pinnacle. So if we could get a line at minus 140 up to minus 150, and then other sharps piggyback, steam riders piggyback at the 153, 54, all of a sudden we got a much better number on the plus side. Everywhere else, because they just scrape penny. All right, so let's go Connecticut, San Diego State, UConn, San Diego State up next. What's the number on this game? 12, yeah, UConn, big chalk. And then they got hit at 8.5 and 9, but that lasted all of a minute, the 8.5. And BetOnline went right to 9.5, and within 20 minutes, they were at 10. And by the next day, they were at 10 minus 15. And by the afternoon, they were at 11. Now they're sitting at 12 on Connecticut. Yeah, I wouldn't bet Connecticut. No way. No chance. Not now at that number. It's dog or pass. I mean, it's definitely a dog or pass situation. Let me see San Diego State, some of the data on this team. Oh, they had a decent strength of schedule. I'm surprised. Wow, okay. They played a lot of good offenses, and they got a top 10 defense against a land. They played a ton of good offenses. We know what UConn's got. Yeah, UConn offense number 2, but they did it against weak defenses. They're going to go up against a really good defense tonight. So what's that total? I may take a little stab at San Diego State. We'll see. Let me put them to the side. Maybe take a little stab on San Diego State, right? Maybe first half even to create some problems for them. Now, you saw what they did to Yale. Yeah, Connecticut coming in, having covered 8 of the last 9, 3 straight. Yeah, the premium's already attached, and now it's even higher. I like San Diego State. Myself. Why not? Right? Just asking those guys at the office to let me know where the money's coming in from recreational bettors on that game. I'm interested to see if they're jumping on laying the chalk on UConn. You guys think they're going to lay it? Public's going to lay the 12? Or take it with San Diego State? Because, I mean, San Diego State's a number 5. They're not a bad thing. They're a good team, man. I mean, they're rated above Clemson. Clemson's only a 7-point dog to Arizona, who again should be a number 1, just like UConn. And now we're getting 12 with San Diego State. Yeah, I like San Diego State. I almost talked myself into it. Let me circle that. And Don't be surprised if you get that play, because we're not going to be on here till 4:30. We're not going to be here another 2 hours. I'm just going to go over again this college basketball. And even we'll look at tomorrow, because I'm looking at one play right now. So I'll probably will do that. But then we're going to wait till I'm going to wait till tomorrow before firing anything else. That's the good thing. Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four. There's so much public money. There's no rush. No rush. Yes, all right. So we got San Diego State as a move. I like it. I like it. All right. North Carolina, Alabama. All right. Here I know BMC bet UNC. But that's such a public play, man. Not that that doesn't means it's going to lose. I mean, again, public wins all the time. But that line now, that 4 is a key number. You know, getting that 4 matters. And now you're over that 4. You're up to 4.5 from a 3.5. If I like Carolina, I'd buy the hook for sure. But yeah, I'm just looking at that game. North Carolina. Alabama comes in having covered theirs and putting up a ton of points. Carolina comes in having put up a ton of points as well and covering. These are two teams. High total, only going higher. Yeah, this has stay away all over it. It's a dog or pass, but I wouldn't mess with it. Again, we're going to be limited. We're going to be limited for sure. But again, these are where you have bigger bets in the Final Four, Sweet 16s, Elite 8s, but just less positions. All right, let me look at what else? Oh, that's it. Illinois, Iowa State. That's all that's left, right? Illinois, Iowa State. Wow. See what the number is on Illinois, Iowa State. 1.5, 147.5. So that's dropped. No surprise why it's dropped from 2 to 1.5. That's not really a significant move, and that's all public money. I can tell you that. It was the 47.5 that I was looking at. Wow, they're both on a streak, huh? Illinois and Iowa State on cover streaks for sure. I'll tell you what, I like the Iowa State side for sure. I think Iowa State's one of those teams that's being a little bit overlooked too. Even though they're a 2, I just don't think they're getting the respect. That defense is legit. Now again, the strength of schedule is the only problem. They didn't play the best offenses. And against the defenses that they played, a top 20 defensive schedule, they struggle offensively. You know, they're barely top 50. That's why I'm not firing no premium, but I know that the move is strictly public money related down to the 1.5. It's not sharp money related. That's usually a giveaway to me. I like the favorite in that spot. But we haven't seen any takers from the any sharp takers on that. Except here, let me look at what BMC put out, because I know they bet every single game tonight, every college basketball game. And get over there. So far, I haven't confirmed anything in college hoops tonight. The only thing I really care about is Arizona freaking advancing, right? That's it. And maybe the San Diego State play. We'll see. All right, let me be here. I am in their back. All right, they took. We already know they took Clemson first half. San Diego State, North Carolina, Iowa State. Yeah, no surprise. No surprise. No surprise. The favorites, two favorites, two dogs. Makes sense. I lean the same way. And they're the same sharp shit. Oh, they get all the sharp shit. Everybody else moving does. All right. Now let's look at tomorrow. I got one game for us tomorrow. So we're going to fire premium play today. Done. Set it up. So everybody can bet it together. College basketball for Friday. We're going to bet game 644, Marquette, minus 6.5, 3% play. 644, Marquette, minus 6.5, 3% play. And again, that's Friday. I like getting out in front of it. If it gets to 7, then that was a good pull that we got in now. That's another one of those numbers that actually matter that most don't know about. Wow, this month's just about over, right? Send this play out. I'm seeing it's on the 29th. Jeez. We even got college basketball play today. Yeah, and as you guys have noticed, I don't force. Earlier in the week, I passed. I'm doing this for money. I don't do it for action. I told you, the least amount of money I make is selling picks, so I don't force to put up a package. I'll send out pass, and if anyone bought, they refund their money because I'm not going to force. I'm putting a lot of money behind my bets. I told you, I bet between 1 dime and 5 dimes on my plays. So if I have a 3% play, I'm betting 3 dimes on it. Like that's, to me, that's a lot of money. You know, people work all week for that kind of money. Shit, some people work all month for that kind of money. So I take it very seriously. And I respect the fact that you guys have the confidence and trust in me to risk your hard-earned money, because money's all relative. Whether you're betting $10 or 10,000, it all depends on how much you have. $10 could be a lot to one person and 10,000 could be nothing to another. So money's all relative, regardless of what you're betting. What I'm getting at is what matters most is that I respect the fact that you're trusting me to bet your hard-earned money and invest it in the sports betting market. So I'm not going to put out a play just so I could sell something. I'm not going to put out a play just because it's the Final Four and that's the busiest day for pick selling. I'm not fucking doing it. I don't care. I'd rather lose a subscriber than lose good people money just to satisfy someone who bought a subscription for a month and expects action every day. I bet every day. This is what I do. I don't do anything else. This is my job. But I look for positions that I have an edge. If I don't have an edge, I don't need to bet. What do I need to bet for? My money's sitting safely just where it is. The only thing I want to do with my money is increase it. I don't want to lose it. I don't want to risk it. I want to increase it and protect it. That's my only goal for my cash. And again, if our goals are aligned, you're going to be happy. I'm not going to disappoint you. But if our goals are not aligned, then again, I will definitely disappoint you. And fortunately, there's enough of you guys now that understand how this works. And if you actually are going to be betting money, you may as well do this and profit from it, because it's not fun losing money. Like, it may be fun in the beginning, having action and watching games and having bookmakers. But when you look back and you're like, shit, I lost all that money gambling, it's not fun. It's not fun. So, and I lost more than this entire room, anyone in this room for sure. I was going to say the entire room combined, but there's a lot of people in here. But I would say I'm pretty fucking close over my 20, 30 plus years now doing this. So let me just keep looking if anything else is coming in and any questions. Nope, Porzingis was the last prop. College baskets again. Yeah. I don't see nothing jumping out. Other than, again, that little San Diego State, which, yeah, if they got blown out, who would be surprised? But, I just think 12 is too many. 12 is too many. So, yeah. If we get down, that's what we're getting down on. I'm pretty sure. Anything else? Let me look real quick. Yeah, like I said, I lean Iowa State, gun the head, Iowa State and over. I like San Diego State. I like the sharp sides, North Carolina. I don't like it. I don't like it. And Clemson plus the points. Yeah, if I didn't have a future bet on Arizona, that's the side. Not that I would, if I thought Clemson had value, even with the future bet, I'd bet it right now, +7. I don't give a shit about the future bet. But I don't like it enough to fire play. I don't feel that confident. I actually like this first half, +3.5. Actually, though, that stuck out at me a little bit, because I could see Clemson getting a jump, and Arizona having to turn it on in the second half. Let me see something about that Clemson. Let me see that Clemson defense real fast. Nah, they'll be fine. Arizona should be fine. They should be fine. Yeah, I'm not messing with that one either. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that game. This Sweet 16. Today's not an exciting Sweet 16. At least for me, it's not. I'm sure there's a lot of bettors out there and a lot of big plays, that a lot of big money being bet, like always on the Sweet 16. But just doesn't excite me. Not seeing anything really jumping out. Even with the player props, there were a couple player props that weren't even fucking available. Weren't even available. Like, they were like at one place, FanDuel. Good luck getting them down at FanDuel. Look real quick at tomorrow, since you guys are here. I already gave you Marquette. I'll give you The only thing I don't like, and I'm going to tell you guys straight, is Houston tomorrow. Duke's going to be a tough out. Duke's going to be a tough out. I'm worried about Duke. I really am. I didn't want to face Duke in this spot. Don't forget, man, they lost in that ACC tournament, but they were 11-point favorites. So, I mean, that's some respect. And when it was time to get into the tournament, you saw what they did. They beat, was it the first round? They covered a 12.5, 13. And then they beat James Madison by 40. Yeah, Duke is dangerous. Duke is a dangerous number 4. They're dangerous. But if we could get past them, we're gold. We're gold. And I like Tennessee. Tennessee kind of, again, that's not a side I would look to hedge or do anything with that. I like Tennessee tomorrow. I think they could get it done. They should get it done. They should get it done. That's a good game. 2 versus 3. And the line's sitting where it is. They're letting the market decide. All right. Let me look in. No early win totals, man. I haven't even looked at NFL, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's what I think, Al. I think the same thing. The public's probably not going to want to lay double digits in the Sweet 16. I'm interested to see. So far, have access to a book friend of mine back east that has a really big sheet. And so far, they're heavier on UConn, but not as heavy as I would think. And remember, that's back east, so you're talking UConn fans. So I think you may be right. Will sees, he said, I'm seeing a play being advertised claiming there's a 100% 18-0 ATS angle for tonight. Wow. Yeah, I'm not going to buy it and wouldn't usually care, but 100% gets my attention. Any thoughts? Here's my thought. You can come up with 100% angle for anything. For anything. Just add enough factors and you'll get 100%. That's the key. What factors are in that 18-0? Like, tell me that if you bet on a New York team playing on a Tuesday, if the pitcher's first name starts with an L and they're playing a morning game against an NL East team, they're 15-0. That means nothing to me. That means nothing to me. That means you data mined a bunch of factors that together provide a large undefeated streak that you could market, but there's zero fundamental reason that trend should continue. Like, would I be surprised that trend is 18-1 after tonight? No, not at all. Not at all. That's what I'm trying to explain, Will. What's the fundamental reason for that 18-0 trend to continue? Otherwise, you could find trends for anything. And if there's one thing you expect the trend to do, it's to regress to the mean. And what's the mean? Is it 50-50 for that angle? It's probably not 100%, right? The mean's probably not 100%. Nothing is, right? Always and never, we say. You should never say those things because there's pretty much no 100%. So we know 18-0 should regress to the mean. Like, as a reasonable bettor, that's what I would think when I saw that. But as a recreational bettor, I would think, holy shit, they've uncovered an angle that's undefeated. 18 times it hasn't lost. And it shows up tonight in this game. How lucky am I? How lucky am I? Here's what I promise you. Ready? I don't even know. Again, I have no idea who you're talking about, what site you're talking about. Here's the second thing I could promise you. Besides, if there's not a fundamental reason for it to continue, it's a meaningless trend. Let me promise you this one too. Tomorrow, there will be another 100% trend. It may be 12-0, it may be 20-0, but there will be a trend for tomorrow's Sweet 16, that's 100%. I could guarantee you that. That will be marketed tomorrow. If this one wins, it'll be marketed as a huge play. Huge, 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 huge. Like forget 18-0. It's 35-0. Like this is never lost type trend. Trust me. Check tomorrow and see if that happens. If it goes to 19-0, that's exactly what's going to happen. If it goes to 18-1, probably still going to see 100% trend. I would say. I would wager. I definitely lay 150. I'm definitely the favorite. Probably minus 200. Probably 2 out of 3. Not 6 to 10. Not 60%. Probably closer to 2 out of 3. 100%. That's funny. Please, I don't mean, again, if anyone that follows that, please, and it's no disrespect to the person that put the work in or anything like that. The only thing I could also add is just Google it. Don't go to a math teacher. Don't even trust me. Ask if something that happens 18 times has any statistical significance at all. And I'm sure the answer is going to be no. Especially when the probability is at minus 110. So it's at 50-50. It's closer to 50-50. Kind of like the roulette wheel. Remember, this is if you walk through the casino and that next to the roulette wheel, you know how they have that little display? And what do they show you? They show you what the last 20 spins were. You know why? So that as people are walking past that table, they could see, oh shit, 13 reds in a row. Let's unload on green. It's a lock. It's a lock. How could it lose? I mean, black, sorry. See, I don't even play roulette. I'm thinking blackjack, green felt. Let's bet black. There's 13 reds. Let's bet black. But it's a 50-50 proposition every roll. The next roll's 50-50 is now a little less because of the double zeros, but you know what I'm saying. It's not it doesn't matter that there's 13 of them it's like a quarter. If there's 13 heads, what does that mean? That it's now 100% quarter on heads? What about there's 18 of them? If the true probability is 50-50, that's where it's going to regress to. Just keep rolling. Those 18 don't mean shit if the true probability of that trend is closer to 50-50. And most trends are. Most trends end up regressing to the mean. So again, great question. Great question. So glad you asked, Will, because that's exactly that advertisement is the exact advertisement the casinos use to get people to stop and bet that roulette wheel by looking at the numbers and the colors. It's exactly the same. That's to attack your emotional brain, not your reasonable brain, because your reasonable brain's going to take a step back and be like, each spin's 50-50. Like, who cares if it came out red or black the last time? It's still 50-50 this time, just like a coin flip. Just because it came out heads last time, don't mean tails is coming. Doesn't mean shit. I have to flip it 1,000 times before I get close to 500. So yeah, be careful with that kind of advertisement because it's there to attack your emotional brain. And I can tell you that man probably sells a lot, or woman. They probably sell a lot of picks with a 18-0 angle, and they probably sold a ton of those Sweet 16 picks. God bless them. God bless them. Good for them. Good for them. They found an 18-0 trend. They're not lying. It's buyer beware, man. Listen, we the consumer need to demand more. I don't blame the cappers at all. I don't blame the industry at all. I don't blame the sites at all. The consumer decides what they put up with. The market decides what provides value and what we buy. We decide that. So the market has decided that big plays provide value, that the hype of big plays, or else no one would be giving them out. Why would anyone be giving out games of the year unless they sold? That's why they sell. That's why they sell. And you're always never going to see 5% plays during hot streaks from losing cappers. They wait for the winning streak to push the 5%. Because then you have something to push that market behind it. Look, I'm hot. I'm 6-1 over my last 7. I hit 6 of the last 7, and now I got a fucking bomb for this next day. Day 8, we are going to crush it. Look at this, 6 of 7. And I got the big, those were nothing. Those were easy ones. This is the big one. This is the one we were waiting for. Come on. Really? 2024, we're still falling for that shit? Unfortunately, we are. Unfortunately, according to gambling Twitter, we are, because that's all I see. That's all I see. So yeah, I don't blame the cappers. I don't blame the industry. I don't blame the sites. Do we deserve a bad name? Absolutely. But you, the consumer, has allowed this to go on. You, the consumer, by buying that shit, has allowed it to go on over and over and over again. It wouldn't be happening if no one's buying it. It sucks, but that's just the truth. All right, Marquette it is. Yeah, with the amount you wager, do you have an issue getting that much down at an online book? No, I already, like, that's why I fortunately, so I'm not trying to get more down, because it would eventually become an issue, and I don't have the time for that to be a headache. But getting between 1 and 5 dimes down isn't difficult for me, because I'm betting the major sports. And that's why you see the props, I do 2%. Because it's hard for me to get more than 2 dimes down. I do this for real, bro. I make it reflect what I'm doing for real, so that anybody that actually wants to do it for real, like I do, can. That's why I exactly what I give out is exactly what I do. So you will have the exact same results as me if you do the exact same thing. That's how I play it. And like I said, with the props, because I can't get too much down. If it's a major prop first half total, sure, we could get 3% down, we could get 4% down. Play, that's 0.75, 1%. But on other smaller props, no. But I have actually I have one book that I could actually bet up to 5 dimes on. So in one play, I could get 5 dimes down on. But someone that gave that to me took 40% of it. Because they know if I'm going to use that book, I'm going to put gold in there. If I'm betting 5 dimes, I'm putting gold. So he wanted 40% of the account. So, I got 60% of 5 dimes. So I could get 3 dimes down for myself immediately just through that one out. But then I have nickel outs and dime outs. So all I got to do is hit like 3 books with a dime, and I got down my 3% play. So it really isn't that hard for me. Now, if I was trying to get down over 10 dimes, yeah, it would start getting more difficult, especially with totals and stuff like that. If you're getting to the 20 dime range, you have to start working with agents to get down to that range. Like, you're going to have to be giving up some kind of cut of your winnings or a percentage of your volume if you're winning like that, because you're going to need a guy like me to bet for you, and I'm going to charge you. That's just how it goes. Like, if you're a guy that's who I work for. Guys that want 20,000 on a side, guys that want 50,000 on a side. That's the plays we get. That's exactly what we do. We get people like that down, and the deals I have with them differ. Some I take a percentage of the account. Some I charge them a volume, meaning 1% of everything I bet for them. So it doesn't matter win or lose. I don't care what they do. Just give me volume, and it's 1%. So, you got a $5,000 play, I make $50 off it. But these guys are firing nonstop volume. That 1% adds up. So, every 100 dimes bet is $1,000, and it sounds like, damn, that's nothing. But you could roll over 100 dimes pretty quickly when you're betting 20, 30 dimes a game and shit. It doesn't take long to roll over that kind of money. And again, I'm not moving that much myself. They're getting it out, spread it all around. Will I be putting out a UFC All Access package for this weekend? I don't put the packages. They create them for me. I put the plays in there, and if they think there's something that they can sell, they do. I told you, I don't make I do this because I enjoy it, and it's almost like I feel, and I'm not acting like I'm a hero, but like I owe it to this industry that made me wealthier than I ever would have been, and more successful than I ever would have been, which has allowed me to now like work on my soul and my spirit and the things that really matter, my conscience and things that I care that why we live as now that I'm older, and you get the, you know, reminisce a little bit and realize what's important in life. And this sports betting has allowed me to do that. I have a high school education. I don't have any skill set, meaning I didn't go to any technical trade or anything like that. So I'm supposed to be driving Uber and working as a dealer or bartender during the day. That's like, if someone had to profile me, that would have been the 99% profile, that's what's going to happen to this kid. And again, sports betting changed that for me. And it didn't change it until I changed myself. I had to change for it to change my life, because up until I wasn't willing to change, all I did was lose money sports betting. And I know that's what mostly anyone starting out is going to do. So what I'm trying to do is help and anyone avoid that, and show them that that actually it may not sound exciting, but this is really how you win betting sports. Like all that bullshit we're watching on TV, and that's all so they could sell advertisement. All those betting shows are to sell advertisement. It's not how people that win betting bet. The stuff they talk about, this guy's, oh, he threw for 369. No one that wins talks like that. Nobody that wins talks like that. The betting, you know, hosts and shit like that talk like that. Not the ones that make their money betting sports. The ones that make their money betting sports, this is what it's like. Exactly what I'm telling you guys, how we do it. Yeah, Sweet 16, sorry, don't have a side or total because there's no lines are inefficient right now. That's how you do it. But ESPN, of course, they got to sell advertisement. So their hosts have to give a play out tonight. Whether they like it or not, they have to like a prop. They have to like a side. They have to like a total. That's not how you win at sports betting. But the books are happy because it's teaching people how to lose over and over and over. They're just bringing in new losers, bringing in new losers to the fold, new losers to the fold, new losers to the fold. That's all they're doing. And again, what I'm telling you isn't like I'm nothing special. I'm nothing special. I got lucky. I grew up in a neighborhood that produced one of the sharpest betting syndicates of all time, that books were written about, and fucking Netflix specials. And then I worked for then out here a couple of those type of groups because of having grown up there and learning the business. That's it. That's it. I just got lucky like that. I came with nothing, had nothing. And luckily I learned from them guys. I saw, fuck, they're not smarter than me. They're like me. They have high school diplomas. They fucking don't have no trade school, no skill set, but they acquired the discipline and the patience. And look how they're living. Fuck, because they learned how to beat this market. How do they beat the market? By finding information, sources of information that are specialists in individual sports that profit doing it and need people like me to get them down. And then someone like me could share that info with you. That's just how it works. Again, there are a handful of guys that are originators out there. I'm not saying they're not, but they are far and few in between. And 95%, 99% that claim they are not. That much I can promise you. Very few are. Very few are. That's just the truth. I keep it real. I keep it real. And I don't win because I'm the best handicapper on the planet. I don't win because I'm the best sports bettor on the planet. I don't have the most profit because I'm better than all those other guys. Nothing like that at all. I have an amazing team behind me and sources of information. And luckily, by watching men that actually made their living doing this, I just followed their blueprint. I asked them, how do you bet size? And that's what they told me. You never want to go broke, never bet more than 1% of your fucking money on any play, no matter how fucking confident you feel about it, Ace. That's how you never go broke. Everyone said the exact same thing. Every single one said the exact same thing. That was actually making money. And most of them, to be honest with you, weren't even bet. They told me weren't even betting 1%. They're betting like 0.1%. These are guys with, 8-figure bankrolls. Yeah, 8-figure bankrolls, not 7-figure bankrolls. And they're betting barely 0.25% on their best plays. That's how they do it. And here you have the pundits urging us to be betting 10%, 20. Think about it. You got $1,000 bankroll. How many people with $1,000 bankroll are betting $100 on a play? So many, so many. How many with $1,000 bankroll betting 200? So many sports bettors out there with only a dime to their bankroll and are betting 100, 200 a game. What do you think is going to happen? You're betting 20%. These guys with the sharpest information in the world, with programmers and algorithms running 24/7 and monitors on every sports book to take advantage of every half point inefficiency. And they don't have the guts to bet more than 1% on that information. And they have unlimited bankroll. And if they lose, they can replenish their bankroll. And yet they don't do it. Why? Because they know where their edge is. And that's the comfort zone. That's where the edge is. That's where we're going to profit the most. That's where we're going to have the least variance. And you guys can do the same thing. Again, I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but those are the most important issues. This, talking about the matchups, that's nothing. That's the easy part because we don't have to do shit. We have the best fucking specialists on every sport working for us. Yeah, that's what they're doing because they need something like me to get them down. That's all it is. That's all it is. And then I'm sharing it with you guys. And plus my experience of having moved for them all this time and being able to pick off some inefficiencies myself. That's what I offer. That's what I provide. I have never said I do anything else. And that's why anyone can do it. You don't have to be great at math. You don't have to be like sports. You don't have to watch sports. You don't have to know what these teams are. It doesn't even matter. So, I mean, that's the way to do it. If you want to bet for real, if you want to make money. But if you want to, have fun with it. Nothing wrong with that. Just do yourself the favor and don't bet money like hard-earned money. Just take that throwaway money, the stuff that you were going to use to go to the bar, that you were going to use to hang out with buddies, that you were going to use to buy a video game or whatever the hell you like doing, that your recreation is. Bet that. Then that's okay. Do it for fun. You'll lose most, overall. You'll win sometimes too. No harm, no foul. You'll have some months where you win 3-4 weeks in a row. Do it for fun. But if you're actually betting real money, like you're working your ass off, putting bankroll together, and then wagering that bankroll, dude, you owe it to yourself to do it the right fucking way. Not to me. You owe it to yourself to not gamble, to minimize your risk, to try to maximize your profit. Like you owe that to yourself, to not just give it to these guys, not just hand your money over to the sports book. Shit, don't do that. Please don't do that. There's so many good charities you can help. So many people in need, animals in need, special needs kids in need, sick children in need, that you could be giving that money to instead of bookmakers. Seriously, that's the worst place to waste fucking money. They don't need it. They're doing just fine. Trust me. I drive around here all the time. They're doing just fine. They do not need the action. You're welcome, Will. The pleasure's all mine, my friend. The pleasure's all mine. 12.5. Do you fire on San Diego State at 12.5? It's off. It is off market at -105. If you're getting -107, that's definitely the side I would bet. And again, I'm just waiting a little longer, waiting to see how it unfolds, and if it does go up a little bit, or if there is any resistance, then give me a nudge. I'm waiting for a nudge. See, I don't want to. Again, that just tells you that I don't love, that I like, but I don't love, because I need conviction. I need confirmation. I need to see something to give me a nudge to take those points, or else I'm probably going to pass. But I'll tell you this, at 12.5 -107, if it closes 12, you didn't make a bad bet, that's for sure. It isn't the best EV, but you didn't make a bad bet. And if you like the dog, then yeah, you know what I mean? That's the time to do it at a better number than the market has. But the only thing is I do see, you know, Heritage is at 12.5. And I have another book at 12.5. So if that's where the market's going, it's really not an edge. But if the market doesn't go there and you got 12.5, then again, every half point matters. Like if you could get a half point better than the close, it wasn't the worst bet. At least you know that. At least you know that. The worst bet would have been laying a half point worse, you know, so it wasn't the worst bet. But I'll look one more time, and then I'll look for one more questions, and we'll wrap it up. We had a good 90 minutes. We won the last 7 days. You know what the plan is. Yes, we have 4 UFC plays. Let me go real quick. I promised you UFC. You know the 4 plays we're on. I think they're all 4% plays, right? Oh, 3. Oh, yeah, not the Weidman, obviously. Weidman's a 2% play at plus 200. Chris, if he's ever going to win a fight, this is the one where he has a shot. At least, you know, Bruno's not, he's only a couple years younger. They're not putting him up against a 25-year-old killer. So if Weidman's going to win a fight, this is at least he's got a shot. He shouldn't be plus 200. Should be about plus 150, but not plus 200. So yeah, he should about 60% is where the favorite should be, 60-40, but not 67-33. And then we have Buckley minus 105, 4%, Gatto minus 144, 4%, Malkoun minus 235, 4%. I wish I gave Malkoun sooner. If anyone watches UFC on the line, I put 900 of my $1,000 bankroll on Malkoun at minus 180 or 190. I liked them that much, but when I was going to give them out at that time, not enough books had that week's UFC up because it wasn't a pay-per-view. It was a fight night. So I could get down, but I was like, maybe half my subscribers can get down, the other half can't. And that's just going to piss them off. So I had to wait. And while I'm waiting, then who hits me up? One of the guys I moved for and says, get me Malkoun minus 190. I'm like, shit, the line's definitely going to move now. So, or that probably would have been a 5% play on Malkoun. At less than 200, it probably would have. It would have been tough for me not to fire a 5. It would have been tough not to fire a 5 at less than 200, considering I put 900 of my 1,000 bankroll for on the line. So yeah, I did like it a lot. So those are the 4 that are premiums. Here's the rest that I lean. I'll give you them real quickly. But I'll be on Wager Talk today, tomorrow. And I'll give them some stuff there too, for sure. Blanchfield Fierro. Listen, I've been riding the Blanchfield train and she's made me money, but I jumped off for this fight. I'll cheer the girl in, but if she can't implement her wrestling, Fierro's going to give her a tough time in the stand-up. That girl can pop. She's got hands. And even if she doesn't finish her, she could light her up and make it the takedowns tougher and tougher and tougher as the rounds go on. So I'll probably pass on the side and look to go over the 4.5. You know, I like Buckley in the co-main event. I like Weidman over Silva. I don't think Silva should be that big of a favorite. I don't think Ruzboev should be that big of a favorite over Dumas. I like Dumas actually as a dog. We may have a 2% play on him. Algeo, I missed that move. I like the Algeo side a lot. But again, the line just got away from me. I'm waiting to see what happens Saturday. I'm probably just a prayer that it comes back. It probably won't. And I'll end up missing it. But I like the Algeo side for sure. And Njokuani McKee, it's a pass. And Njokuani's got 5 minutes in him. If McKee gets it to round 2, he wins this fight. But if Njokuani, you know, gets his striking going, he's going to finish McKee. So that's not a fight I'd mess with either. Emmers Landwehr, looked at the Emmers side. I think that's a decent spot for him. Godinez Jandiroba, listen, Godinez got the momentum for sure. And she's in that gym with killers. And, you know, when a gym's hot, remember what City Kickboxing was doing for a year and a half, almost 2 years. So when a gym's hot, it's hot. And right now that's the case. And Godinez is coming in with all the confidence. But this line, you're paying a premium. You're paying a premium. Jandiroba is going to give her some headaches. Jandiroba in the stand-up could give her an issue. And when it hits the ground where Godinez is, that's where her damage gets done. That's where she butters her bread, like they say. Jandiroba's game. Jandiroba's going to give her a run for her money. So for me, it's Jandaroba or pass. That's got dog or pass all over it. Burns, Arce, yeah, I wouldn't bet that with your money. Matthews, Bazooki, I think Matthews' price is a little bit too high. Turkali, he's probably going to get cut after this when Aslan wins. And I love Gatto. I love Gatto. You know, I sent that out over Dudakova. That was also one I was considering a 5 on. The Gatto and the Malkoon, I love. Don't do anything crazy. I'm just saying. 4% is a big play for me. It's $4,000. So trust me, that's a big bet. But if I add another percent, you'll know for sure. You guys will be the first to know. That much I promise you, even before my book. My man Will, I got you, brother. Thank you. You're the man. You're the man. Not yeah, I didn't bet Porzingis, but I have a percentage of that account that bet it. So I because the props, I just can't move them fast enough. So what I do is I give them the login and password. They attach a bot to the account and the bot bets it, and I just take a percentage. So yeah, I have the Porzingis prop myself. I have under 17.5 plus 120 as my bet. But again, I didn't use it as a premium or anything. The amount of money I have on it probably amounts to 0.5% for me. It's probably a nickel. I think I get 250 to a nickel on it. Depends how much they're able to get down on the account. So it's not a big bet for me. But I do have risk on that outcome. I do. Thank you. Thank you, Simone. Thank you. That's what it's for. That's honestly, and please don't be shy to ask any questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Like, ignorance isn't a bad word. I can't say that enough. We're all born ignorant. That just means you haven't been taught. You don't know. Like, I was ignorant of sports betting until I was taught sports betting. I was ignorant of how to use a phone until someone showed me how to use a phone. There's nothing to be ashamed of. So please, and more importantly, someone else is probably thinking that exact same thing. Is thinking that exact same thing. So don't ever be shy to ask anything. That's my job. I work for you. That's why I do this every week. I have a lot of shit to do. This isn't like, because I enjoy doing it, don't get me wrong, but there's some times where I'm like, shit, I got to do the chat today. And, you know, I'm just busy. But I'm here so I could guide you and make sure your subscription is profitable for you. And you understand what we're trying to do here. We're trying to win every day, but we understand that's not possible. So we manage our risk correctly so we can win every year. And that's how we approach it. And I'm here to guide you through that entire year, because sometimes we're going to be running hot, sometimes we're going to be running cold, sometimes we're going to be consolidating. And throughout that, I got to make sure that we're all on the same page, staying level-headed, avoiding those demons that are telling us to do all the wrong things, I hope so, Kish. I hope I do have a 5% play in the next 2 days. I hope by the end of the weekend, either Sweet 16 or Elite 8. Those are when the biggest bets come. Those always every year, because that's where the less bets, bigger bets. That's how the playoffs always are for us. If anyone that's been with me through NFL, through NBA, through the bowls, that's when we fire. I don't, bowl games, it's 4 to 5%. That's it. We unload. So we're going to look to do the same. That's why you see, I didn't get excited about San Diego State, because if it is, I lean that way. It would be a 3% play if I got some conviction, but I'd have to already be on it for it to be a, 4%, 5%. And tonight we just don't have that. I'll tell you what, there's one team sticking out right now that I'm starting to like a lot, but it may be the Elite 8 if it doesn't come up on the Sweet 16. But we already have a future. That's why I wouldn't put a lot more risk. But I think Tennessee's going to have their way with Creighton. I could be way off there. But I just think that Tennessee defense is going to give them a lot of problems. And yeah, Tennessee may be a big bomb. We'll see. Again, no, I don't want to throw anything out there So please, 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 please don't be surprised if we're on the other side. So again, I have to throw that out there so no one thinks anything that I'm throwing any code or anything like that. I tell you guys everything. You guys know it first. Most times, even before I bet it, I send it out to you. And here, if you're in the chat, you always get everything live. You get it first. You get it first. You get it first. The harder you work, the luckier you get. That's it. That's it. It's that easy. It really is. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. A great weekend ahead. We're going to do some fucking damage. We got the Sweet 16 tomorrow also. We got 2 days of Elite 8. And we got the UFC Saturday. And baseball is here. We finished #1 in baseball last year. Picked up over 100 units. And it was one of the worst baseball years, if you remember. Like, I wasn't celebrating it throughout. It was in the end we got hot. Like, if we have a normal, good baseball season, forget about it. Forget about it. So let's do that. Let's have a good few months and go this year in the football with a shitload of bankroll to do some real damage. Again, you guys have a great day. Stay safe. Remember, always reasonable brain, not the emotional brain. Take a step back, reassess the situation. You know what's going on. You're not in here by accident. You're all sharp as they come. Love you. I appreciate the support more than I can ever explain to you. Thank you.